Hello aspirants, welcome to IAS Icons by Unacademy. This is me Shubham Sardhalia, and we at Unacademy are bringing for you very special sessions for these 2 days, that is 15th and 16th of October. Here we will be discussing certain important things, certain important issues, certain important doubts which you as an aspirant must be having in your mind, and we will be trying to answer all your queries through these sessions. I request all of you to join the session at the earliest. We will be discussing about the book list for UPSC, which is the doubt for many of the students. That's why we want to prepare for UPSC. What are the book lists that we need to follow? What are the books that we need to remember, we need to memorize here? I request you to join at the earliest. We'll be having a very fruitful discussion in this session. Good evening, Abhinesh Srivastav. How are you? I request you guys to please share the session so that more and more students can join us. So guys, we will be talking about the book list for UPSC that we need to follow when it comes to overall preparation. Guys, I need to tell you something here, that this book list is actually for those who are starting with the UPSC preparation. Like once you are into the beginning stage of your preparation, the first and foremost books that you need to remember, that you need to study, that you need to understand, I'll be telling you all those. Before we proceed further, I have to tell you something. A big announcement is coming up on October 15. By the end of the day, you will receive a big announcement by Unacademy, which will be helpful for all you students, because we believe that quality education is a basic right. To ensure that you get this basic right of quality education, we will be making an important announcement. Start your preparation today with India's largest learning platform, that is Unacademy. We offer you widest choice of features, we offer you widest range of features that together will help you qualify this UPSC examination. You get best educators to study from, you get flexibility to change your course, we provide you end-to-end preparation, you get comprehensive notes, live mentorship, each and everything that is required to qualify this examination we will be providing you. You can start your preparation under the guidance of the top educators of the country for UPSC CSE. My name is Shubham Sardhalia. I am your educator and mentor. You can opt for various subscriptions by Unacademy. You can opt for our plus and iconic subscription. You can go for optional subscriptions. Any subscription at Unacademy you opt for, remember to use this code IAS Icons. This code will fetch you maximum discounts on all our courses. Enroll with us for Unacademy Compete. You can win laptops and exciting prizes up to lakhs of rupees. You can get scholarship from pool money of 40 crores if you enroll yourself for our Unacademy Civil Services Championship that is scheduled to be held on November 13. We will be asking you 50 questions. You have to answer them in 60 minutes, and you can get an opportunity to win scholarship worth thousands. So we will be talking about the book list. Very important thing about this UPSC preparation is book list. An overview of, even though we have already talked about this entire thing, that what is UPSC exam all about, what are the things that are asked in the examination, all these things are we already discussed on this channel. But just for all those who have joined us recently and who haven't gone through the previous video, I'll be covering the overview of this entire thing. So sir, here we are preparing for an examination which is known as UPSC, Union Public Service Commission examination, a body that is known as UPSC CSE that conducts civil service examination. Civil service is one such prestigious examination in country that lands you to the top offices of the country. All those who have joined me in this session, can you please give me a thumbs up in comment section so that we can start our interaction? I can see comments from Abhinesh Srivastav. All those who have joined me, can you please drop your comments? So UPSC is one such prestigious exam that lands you into the top offices of the country, where you will decide the future of this country. What expectations you have from yourself as a bureaucrat? All those who have joined me, can you please tell me? You must have thought something. Thank you, Abhinay Srivastav. So Abhinay, I would like to ask you a question, that you as an aspirant must have thought that tomorrow when I go and become an IAS officer, an IPS officer, I would be working on certain areas. So what are those key areas you wish to work on during the course of your service once you qualify this examination? Can you please tell me? Because what you think today, how you act tomorrow when you become the part of India's bureaucracy, that will actually decide the future of this country. Anything that is coming, be it your GST, be it another government policies, be it something else, each and everything is decided by the bureaucracy of the country. It's not the ministers actually ask the bureaucrats. You always see each department is headed by a minister, and after the minister we have secretary level officers. Who are these secretaries? Secretaries are the topmost positions that you attain once you qualify UPSC examination as IAS. So you are there to tell, you are there to decide, you are there to implement certain things which in future will make sure how an individual like me, how an individual like somebody else would be living his life in this country. So this one such examination, which if you qualify you get an opportunity to serve in 23 services, which include IAS, IPS, IFS and other services also. So if you become an IAS, if you qualify this examination with a good rank, you can get enrolled into IAS, the position where you will be made the DM, district collector, deputy commissioner of a district. So you will be heading an entire district, you will be head of that district. If you qualify IPS, you become the part of Indian Police Services, where you will be serving as senior superintendent of police. You will be heading the policing related issues of a district. Then you become, if you qualify this examination in Indian Foreign Services, you become a diplomat. You will be representing the entire nation in some another country. So if you become diplomat for one particular country, you will be representing the entire India for them. So undoubtedly, sir, you have a huge responsibility on your shoulders. This examination is conducted by a body known as UPSC, Union Public Service Commission, a body that is a constitutional body. When we start with our preparation, you will be studying about constitutional bodies. So bodies that have their mentioned that existence is found in the Constitution of India are known as constitutional bodies. So Union Public Service Commission is one such body which conducts these examinations to ensure the recruitment of individuals into various government services in the country. We are preparing for UPSC CSE, so I hope you have already heard about it, that UPSC conducts this civil service examination. Apart from that, UPSC is conducting certain other examinations. For example, apart from civil service examination, UPSC conducts engineering service examination, UPSC conducts combined medical service examination, then UPSC conducts exams like CDS and NDA, where young cadets get an opportunity to enter into the armed forces of the country to serve as the army, navy and air force officers. So these important examinations are conducted by UPSC, and qualifying this examination you get to serve in the top notch offices of the country, be it through CDS, be it through NDA, be it through UPSC, be it through engineering service examination and whatnot. We are here talking about this UPSC civil service examination, UPSC CS. Anything you know about this examination, you can please share with me. Anything you know about this UPSC examination, what's that? Abhinesh Srivastav, can you please tell me what all we know about this UPSC CSE examination? There must be something you think of this examination, that's why you are preparing for it, you want to qualify this examination. So what's that thought process that you see which motivates you or which persuades you to get into this as a livelihood opportunity, along with that as a career option? So anything you can please tell me? So sir, UPSC is one such examination, since it will take you to the top notch offices of the country. One thing is bit obvious, that it cannot be a simple examination. See, a position where your single decision would impact lakhs of lives, would impact crores of lives, the job or that position to attain cannot be easy. Because since you are responsible, or you will be deciding the course of future of the entire nation, it has to be the best brains who are asked to perform this duty. So how to identify those best brains? It is done through a 3-step process which is known as civil service examination. So this examination by the name civil service examination is conducted in 3 phases: the prelims, the mains and the interview. In this class I won't be getting into that detail, that how to perform in prelims, what is the things asked in mains, what are the things asked in interview, because we have already discussed on this very channel only how to start UPSC preparation. Apart from it, at 5 p.m. today, I'll be having a session on this channel, UPSC 101. So you can join me there at UPSC 101. Here I'll be discussing in depth for the beginners who are starting with their preparation, who are just beginning with their preparation, that how they can proceed with it, how they can start as a beginner. So we'll be discussing all those. You can join me there. Here I'll be discussing directly the book list. So majorly the topics that are to be covered include big four subjects. You must have heard this term somewhere. It is called as big four subjects. So the most important part of the major subjects that we need to cover are history, geography, economy, political science. Apart from that, we have subjects like science and tech. So majorly these are the subjects to be covered, even though when we proceed towards the mains, we have many more subjects coming up like disaster management, internal security, social issues, social justice. These all types of topics will be covered, but majorly when we are starting with the preparation, sir, we need to focus on top notch big four subjects. What are these? History, geography, economy, political science. Sorry, I'm really sorry, it's not political science, it's actually polity. There's a difference. Eventually you will realize when you will study, and all those students who will take up political science as an optional, you will realize the difference between polity and political science. So polity in easier terms is the study of constitution, how the rules are framed, how the governments are made to run, how the territorial boundaries of a country are decided. So these are the part of polity, but political science is different. So sir, we will be covering these big four subjects and science and tech. So this will be our topic of discussion for today. How to cover these things? Any idea? Anything you have heard of? Like how we can cover these particular topics or these particular subjects? Because we are here to talk about the book list, and I expect that all those who have joined me today in this class, from after this class onwards, you won't be having any doubt when it comes to the book list. So we will be discussing the book list for big four and science and tech. Along with that, I'll also be telling you a important part of UPSC syllabus that is known as current affairs. Rajpal Singh Parihar has given the rightly said answer, NCERTs. So sir, whenever we start with our UPSC preparation, the first thing that we are told is NCERTs. And Rajpal Singh Parihar, thanks for your interaction. Can you please tell me what class NCERTs we are being told to study? What class NCERTs you need to study here? Can you please tell me? What class NCERTs? Anybody can tell me? The NCERT has always been important part of UPSC book list. Everybody and anybody you go and ask will tell you to read NCERTs. 6th to 12th, exactly. Absolutely right. Now, Rajpal Singh Parihar, can you please tell me why we are asked to read NCERTs for this UPSC preparation? There has to be some reason, no? Why we are being told that we need to read NCERTs as our topmost priority? There has to be some reason. So, sir, reason basic coverage. Okay, right. Why basic coverage? Sir, because it's not only you who is preparing for this UPSC examination. You will come across people from various backgrounds. Somebody would have come from humanities background. Somebody had studied commerce. Somebody had done medical sciences. Somebody has done engineering. And then engineering can be in various trades. Now, there are certain subjects, for example, polity, geography, which are taught to the student of humanities. But you as a student of commerce will never be asked to study geography. You as a student of medical sciences will never be asked to read polity. Or you as a student of any other trade will not be asked to read economy. So what happened here was, since we had people coming from various streams, we had to maintain a level playing field. So it was like somebody had a good in-depth knowledge of this polity economy because he had come from humanities background. Then simultaneously there is somebody who has done his engineering from IIT, which means he's already a brilliant student. But when compared on the parameters of UPSC, he may not be that comfortable in subjects like geography and polity as compared to the counterpart who has studied humanities. So in order to provide a level playing field that nobody is left to a disadvantage, we tell everybody that you all need to read NCERTs starting from class 6th to class 12th. So that is the most important part of UPSC syllabus. Majority of things would be covered in these NCERTs only. And as Rajpal Singh Parihar rightly said, sir, basic coverage. So we asked you to study NCERTs so that you can get your basics cleared. Following it or not? Any doubt up till here? Any doubt up till here? If you have, you can simply ask me, please. Now, how the things are to be covered? I talked about big four subjects, that is polity, history, geography, economy. For every subject, as you already told, or we already discussed, that NCERTs are there. So what was happening here was, right from our school level, we had subjects like civics, or we had subjects like social sciences. Can you please tell me what the things you studied in civics or what the things you studied in social sciences? I'm not asking you to tell me exact what all you have studied, but a vague idea, some idea you must be having that, yeah, sir, these were the things I used to study when I was in class 7, class 8, class 9. So, sir, when it comes to NCERTs, we have NCERTs for various subjects. For Indian polity, we have NCERTs from class 6 to class 12th under the heading social sciences. Under social science, you will get NCERTs. You need to study, you need to read those NCERT books. Okay, let me ask you one question. We need to remember them or we need to just read them? Can you please tell me? We need to remember the NCERTs or we just have to read the NCERTs? What are we supposed to do? That we need to read or we need to memorize? Because this is the question which may sound very simple, that yeah sir, we have been told to read NCERTs, we'll be doing it, but majority of students you will find, even after 1 year, 2 year, 3 years of preparation, they would be asking the very similar question, sir, what about NCERTs? Why? Because sir, over the period we don't understand that how we need to read the NCERTs, and for that very purpose, tomorrow on this very channel at 3 p.m. we'll be conducting a special session, how to read NCERTs. So we will be talking about the technique to read NCERTs. I expect you to join me for tomorrow's class also at 3 p.m. Sir, Rajpal Singh Parihar, you have given a right answer here. See, why we need to read something? So that Tomorrow if something is asked from that particular part, we are able to answer. So we tell you to read NCERTs because we hope or we see chances that questions in the examination would be asked from the NCERTs. And those questions you will be able to answer only and only when you have already read certain things and you are able to recall it and present it in the examination. See, no matter how many books you have studied, no matter how many books have you read, examiner will judge you or examiner will evaluate you only and only on the basis of what you have written in the examination. The OMR sheet that you have filled, whether it is correct or wrong, that is the only criteria examiner will have to judge you. So you cannot say that, sir, I went to give the examination, but I had to suffer certain partiality because I studied lot of books and I went after studying 100 books but was unable to remember. But it's not that I haven't put in effort. I was able to, or I put in lot of hard work to read 100 books, but when I went into the examination I wasn't able to recall. So now the problem here is, no matter how much have you read, no matter how much have you studied, till the time you are not able to present it on your answer sheet, it's of no use. Following it? So that's why if you can remember the certain things from NCERTs just by reading, then you should go and read it. But if you think that after 4 or 5 months or 6 months or approximately 1 year, 2 years, when you go and appear in the UPSC examination, you won't be able to remember these things. So then definitely you should go and memorize these. So for polity, we will be covering NCERTs, and then there is one extra book, Lakshmikant. See, I'm telling you one thing. If you are starting first finish of the NCERTs along with the notes, you start reading your NCERTs. Okay, even though we'll be discussing the same thing in tomorrow's class, you start reading NCERTs. While reading, you will realize that there are certain things you are able to memorize. There are certain things you knew already, but there are certain things that were completely out of the box, that were completely new for you. So what you do is, the things you are able to remember, you just memorize them, and things that you feel that you will not be able to remember, or there are certain important uh, history related to those particular things, we will be able to answer them if we memorize it. Are we following it? So once we are done with 6th to 12th NCRT, only then we will jump to these reference books. You know what's the biggest problem while preparing for this UPSC examination? There are two things. So I've written two statements. This is statement 1, this is statement 2. What do you think is more appropriate when it comes to UPSC preparation? What to study or what not to study? And please tell me, what do you think is the most appropriate question when it comes to UPSC preparation? We need to know what to study or we need to know what not to study? Can you please tell me? See, undoubtedly, when it comes to present scenarios, the most important thing is what not to study, because you have hell lot of sources available. You simply Google UPSC exam preparation. You will get the material, you will get the sources so much big, so much huge, that even with 10 times power of your brain, what your brain, the power that your brain possesses presently, if we multiply it 10 times also, even then you will not be able to cover each and everything, because we have so much and such a vast variety of things available. It's always said, again I'll be writing two statements. I give you these two situations. In which situation you feel that you will be able to memorize the things easier? If I tell you that you have to memorize a book, you are you have two options. You read 10 books once, or you read one book 10 times. Which way you will prefer to go? Which method you will follow? Please tell me. So sir, undoubtedly reading one book 10 times will definitely help us as compared to reading 10 books once. Because you read 10 books, you read 100 books, if you are not able to remember what you read in the first book, it's of no use, because you will not be able to answer that, or you will not be able to write it in your answer. So it's always better to read one book 10 times. This will make sure that at least this one book you are very much well versed with. Anything that is asked from this book you are able to answer. That's why first and foremost thing you need to remember in this preparation: keep your sources limited. Keep your sources limited. I have seen people, the first thing they do is they buy a hell lot of books for UPSC just to have a feel. Yes, we are preparing for UPSC examination, so we are buying all those big books. You ask them what book you are referring to study polity, they'll tell you Lakshmikant also, they'll tell you DD Basu also, they'll tell you each and every book that is available in the market, that I bought that, I bought that, I bought that, I bought that. Then the next question you ask them, have you read all of those? Then they're like, no, 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 I've just bought it, I'll be reading it gradually. Trust me, remember me, nobody is that superhuman that he can read each and every book and then he is able to remember each and every book. So you have to keep your sources limited, and trust me, the sources I'm telling you, that are more than enough. You need not to go beyond that. So for Indian polity, we need to read this 6 to 12th NCERT, and then we need to go for Lakshmikant. First we need to make sure that 6 to 12th NCERTs are thoroughly covered. You know each and everything related to that. Once it's done, then you can hop on the most important and most famous book for UPSC preparation for polity. It is known as Lakshmikant, M. Lakshmikant. This book has so much about polity, that is teaches so much about polity, that is very very important. Then we move on to another subject, that is history. Again the same thing, 6 to 12th NCERTs you will have to read, you will have to study. Then our history is divided into various parts, like Indian history includes ancient history, medieval history, modern history. Then we have post independence history. Apart from that, we have medieval history and we have ancient history. So ancient history is, apart from 6 to 12 NCERT, we have this book R.S. Sharma for ancient history. We have Satish Chandra for medieval history. We have Spectrum for modern India. And then we have another important part of world affairs. These things, this include what? These world affairs, or things which are happening around you, that can be in India, that can be around India. We will be covering current affairs. Apart from that, sir, we need to study world history. So world history, ancient history, medieval history, modern history. These should be, see, world history would be covered in NCERTs only, and ancient, medieval, modern you can study from this. So you need not to go beyond this. Are we clear with the book list for polity and history? Are we clear with the book list for polity and history or not? See, you have to move step by step. The first step definitely has to be NCERTs. First cover 6 to 12th NCERTs. If you are able to do them properly, then you need to hop on for another books. Till the time you are covered, you are not covered with your NCERTs, you have no right to jump on Lakshmikant or any other book. Then for geography, again we have this 6 to 12th NCERTs. And once you are done with 6 to 12th NCERTs, there is one book known as GC Leong, Goshin Leong. Just like for polity we have Lakshmikant, there's another book called GC Leong, Goshin Leong. And one extra source that I suggest here is Atlas. What is Atlas? What is an Atlas? For all those who have been following me in the regular NCERT sessions, you must be aware of NCERT, this Atlas. I was discussing, there's one particular chapter related to it. Sir, Atlas is collection of maps. Why collection of maps? We need to study. Why we need to study maps? Because sir, UPSC time and again has been asking us certain questions. Something like this we see on the world map. We must be aware that this is our North America, this is South America, this is Africa, this is Asia, this is Europe, this is Australia, this is Antarctica. Somewhere here we have Atlantic Ocean, here we have Indian Ocean, then we somewhere here we have Southern Ocean, Pacific Ocean, we have Arctic Ocean. So these are the major things, but apart from that we have small little things, like we have countries facing water bodies, what small water bodies like Mediterranean Sea, Caspian Sea, Arabian Sea, various gulfs. These are the things that UPSC tends to ask many a times. For example, if some nation is in news, UPSC may pick up an area, UPSC may pick up a water body that is around that country in news and will ask you what are the countries that are bordering that water body, or what are the water bodies that are closely related to this particular country. So this would only be possible if we have an atlas and make it a routine. Whenever you come across any nation in news, you make sure to identify where that nation is found on the map. What are the important things around that nation? So are we clear with the sources for geography? Any doubt up till here? Are we clear till here or not? Then another subject in Big Four is our economy. Sir, for economy, normally it is suggested 11th to 12th NCERTs, but I would recommend 9th to 12th NCERTs. For all other classes, you will be told to read 6th to 12th NCERTs. But for economy, you are told to study 9th to 12th NCERTs. Do you know that? How many of you know that for economy we need to study NCERT 9th class onwards? There is a particular reason to it. If you have gone through NCERT books thoroughly, you will be able to answer it in a minute. Anybody who has gone through the NCERT books, or at least have had a look of NCERT books. Abhinay Srivastav, Rajpal Singh Parihar, the Shairi Girl, Rohini Gulave, and all those who have joined me, can you please tell me why I'm telling you to read? For economy, I'm not telling you to read from 6th class onwards. I'm telling you read from 9th class onwards. And in most of the cases, you are told to read 11th class onwards. There is one particular reason to it. But the reason is very simple. There is no subject called economy till the time you don't reach your 9th class. There is no 8th class in economy. There is no 7th class economy. There is no 6th class economy. For the first time, we as a student were introduced to economy as a subject was the time when we were in our 9th class. We came up with this book economics with the first chapter, the story of village Palanpur. So I request you to read it from 9th class onwards, because only then that story will build up in your mind and you will be able to understand the things properly. Once you are done with 9th to 12th NCERTs, then we need to jump on this important book which is known as Ramesh Singh. Sir, to start with, nothing less, nothing more than what I am telling you. Can you assure me this much that yes sir, I'll be covering these NCERTs, then we'll be covering to this extra reference book that you have been suggesting? I think if you are able to religiously do these much of books, the job is done. Any doubt up till here, please? Anything you need to ask, anything you want me to repeat, please let me know. So once we are done with these four subjects, then we have subjects like art and culture. So art and culture is an one component that is associated to history only. So 11th class NCRT history is enough to cover this. Then we have another book called Nitin Singhania. For environment, there is a one particular full-fledged topic of syllabus, environment and ecology. So for that environment and ecology, you need to study biology for class 12th, not the entire biology, only last four chapters. For environment and ecology as a subject, you need to cover last four chapters of 12th class biology. Then there is a book known as Shankar IAS by environment and ecology. Then we have science and technology. You have science and CERT starting from 6th to 12th class. You have to go through them. You have to read them, you have to memorize, you have to understand the concepts. And apart from that, we have science and technology magazines coming up on daily basis. You have to follow them. Are we clear till here or not? Any doubt up till here, you can please ask me. Can you please let me know if you are clear with the things or not? So we are done with history, polity, economy, geography. We are done with environment, ecology. We are done with ancient history. Then there is something really important. It is known as current affairs. Do we have somebody here who was topper somewhere in school or college? Anybody who topped any of the examination of school or college? Or even if not, you simply tell me, what do you think? If you want to top in some examination, for example, if you want to top in class 12th examination, how much percentage should you score? There has to be some certain percentage which you need to secure, which you need to get so that you can top in particular examination. Can you please tell me that? Tarigal, Rajpal Singh Parihar, Abhinesh Srivastav, and all those who have joined me. A figure that, sir, yeah, if we are getting somewhere around this much percentage in the examination, we'll be able to what, secure a very high rank. So, yeah, we are getting certain responses, 95%, 80%, somebody may say 99%. Do you know what is an average percentage of UPSC topper? What is an average percentage for a UPSC topper? Somebody who needs to, or somebody who has been securing top ranks in UPSC examination in previous years, how much percentage of marks they get? Exactly, sir. If somebody is securing approximately 50% marks in this UPSC preparation, he will be a topper. So you need to remember that, sir, this is not a nightmare. Many people are scared of this UPSC preparation. Sir, the only examination in the world that offers you the liberty, come here, secure 50% marks, become a topper. So then what's the reason why UPSC is considered to be the most difficult or the most complicated examination? Sir, the only reason is the syllabus of UPSC. The only reason that scares us is the syllabus. And you know what is the most scary part of UPSC syllabus? That is something known as current affairs. I told you the book list. So if you calculate all the number of books including NCRTs and reference books also, so you may not get books more than 20 or 30. Right? If you count the number of books, they can be at max 20 to 30 books. But syllabus is vast, and you know what makes this syllabus vast is something known as current affairs. without your even being realizing the fact, every day when you get up in the morning, your syllabus is increased. You cover it, you don't cover it, you leave it for tomorrow, you leave it for day after tomorrow. But your syllabus is ever increasing with the first light of the morning because of something known as newspaper. Sir, because UPSC wants you to have detailed knowledge of current affairs, be it for nation and international. So if you have gone through UPSC syllabus, the statement that you find there are current events of national and international importance. And what is the source for these current events of national and international importance? Or the source for these current events of national and international importance is the newspaper. So every morning when you get up, you see a newspaper at your doorstep. This newspaper is your syllabus and it is ever increasing. You will not get a chance to cover a newspaper day after tomorrow. What happens is, if I skip today's newspaper, I cannot expect to read it tomorrow, because tomorrow already another newspaper is waiting for me. So this current affairs is one of the part that makes this UPSC examination complicated and its syllabus vast. So there are certain newspapers that we need to follow. It can be The Hindu, The Indian Express. Then we have monthly magazines. We have PIB. What is PIB? Press Information Bureau. Any idea about PIB? Can you please tell me what is PIB? There is something known as PIB. Sir, if you qualify UPSC examination in certain ranks, some of you may get into Indian Information Services. So if you get into Indian Information Services, you may be serving closely with PIB, Press Information Bureau. So PIB is the government body that tells each and everything about the government. For example, any order, any notification that is coming up will be reflected on the website of PIB. So they are giving the information about the working of government to the public domain. And then, sir, most important thing, the current affair videos at Unacademy that we are offering. So on daily basis on various R channels at Unacademy, that can be IAS Icons, that can be UPSC 101, and all the channels of Unacademy, you will get current affair related videos. We have newspaper discussions. So sir, these are the things that you need to remember, that you need to read when it comes to book list. Many of you must be having this question, sir, I want to read that book, sir, there is one such book, there is one book by this name, can I do that? There is another book by this name, can I do that? Sir, you are free to do any book you feel like only there is one condition. Whatsoever I have told you up till now, first do it. Once you are done with each and everything that I told you, you are free to read any book in the world. You need not to ask even twice. Are we clear? There are thousand number of books and there are thousand things going on in your mind that, sir, can I cover this subject from this book? Is this book better? Is it beneficial to read this book and after that going for a higher level book? I am telling you, you are free to read each and every book. You can read anything you feel like, only at a condition that you have already read, you have already memorized, you have already understood all the things that I have told you. Are we clear till here or not? So did you find this session beneficial for you? Was this session beneficial, my dear friends? So this, I guess you must have took these screenshots or you must have written down with yourself. Sir, that is the only requirement for this examination. You cover these sources and the job is done. Following it or not? So can we assure ourselves? I'm not asking to assure myself, I'm not asking you to assure your parents, I'm not asking you to assure your neighbors. Assure yourself that, sir, whatsoever has been told in today's class, I promise myself that I'll be covering each and everything of it. Once you are done with it, if you are not able to qualify this examination, you can just catch hold of me from here. Majority of the things would be done. 80% of the job is done once you are well versed with all these sources. The rest thing is how well you write an answer. Are you able to write the answer in the prescribed time limit? Are you able to understand the MCQ question well, or are you able to present yourself in personality test well or not? But 80% of the role is already done once you are well versed with all these sources. I hope we are clear with this, and now we have brief idea about how to reach out for this examination. How many of you have joined me for the very first time? How many of you became joined this class for the very first time, or have been interacting with me for the first time? Can you please tell me? All those who say that, yeah sir, we are seeing you for the very first time, we never saw you earlier in past. No issues, Abhinay Srivastav. Just because you find it difficult to understand things entirely in English, I am taking classes on another channel also, that is UPSC 101. So you can simply join me at UPSC 101 channel by Unacademy. I'll be having a similar discussion at 5 p.m. there. All those who want that, yes sir, we need to understand the things in Hindi also, you can join me at UPSC 101. I'll be going live at 5 p.m. on that channel. I wish to see all of you there. Thank you. Thanks a lot for joining me. This was the book list, and most important things are how to cover these books, how to write the answers, how to appear in this examination, how to understand the question. All these things would be required to qualify this examination, and will help you with each and everything only at Unacademy. You need to enroll with us in our Plus and Iconic subscriptions using this code IAS Icons. Our Plus and Iconic subscriptions are available for you. You can opt for them using installment options. You can pay small monthly amounts and enroll with us. We are offering you massive discounts, and ultimately once you enroll into that, the top educators of the country will ensure that everything, every source that I've told you, and even way beyond these things, you are able to cover, you are able to understand, and you are able to write them in the examination. So I wish to see all of you at 5 p.m. on our channel UPSC 101. Thank you very much. All the best. Keep working hard. Bye bye. Take care. Jai Hind.